To discuss with our legal panel, former U.S. Attorney, Washington, D.C., and former Chief Counsel for the Senate Rules Committee, Joe diGenova, and former Chief Counsel for the Senate Intelligence Committee, and former Senior Justice Department official Victoria Toensing, both our Newsmax contributors. Great to have you back, you two. Victoria, which side made the better case? You watch the arguments. Those who say Trump was within his rights, or those who said he overstepped?
Well, Chris, I did listen to the arguments, and I thought that the better side was made by the Solicitor General, but I don't think that a majority of the Supreme Court thought that. There's a certain irony here about tariffs. Congress has tax authority and tariff authority. Now, they messed it up during the Depression by a law called the Smoot-Hawley Law, and they authorized protectionist tariffs in the middle of the Depression, which caused a big national trade war and was, I think, one of the reasons FDR was elected. And when he was elected, Congress started giving authority to the president to do certain tariff conduct. And the question is here, of course, was this anything that Congress delegated regarding tariffs to the president?
Okay, well, Joe, reading the tea leaves, how do you think the court landed on the question of Trump's power to use tariffs in advancement of foreign policy, i.e. trade deals?
I don't think they're going to buy it. I think they're going to take a very strict constructionist attitude. I think one of the best signs of that was Amy Coney Barrett's questions. She's a Scalia acolyte. She clerked for Scalia. She wrote in her biography how much she basically adored him as a legal thinker. She's an originalist. This case cries out for an originalist interpretation. And if you do it that way, the president loses either 6-3 or 7-2. I can't see it 9-0, but you never know, because it's really one of these areas, you know, Victoria's got it right. Congress has screwed up tariffs when they've gotten involved. So the question is, why not let the president have this authority? He thinks he does. I think the Supreme Court is going to rule that he doesn't.
And a key issue, Gary, it's the remedy. What's the remedy?
What's the remedy?
Because it could be, do you have to pay back the money, President Trump, or is it, hey, well, you did wrong, but just going forward, you can't do
and Amy Coney Barrett was the one that asked that question. She says, well, suppose we rule that he doesn't have this authority. What do we do about all the tariffs that have been collected, which are billions and billions of dollars? Nobody had an answer. The plaintiff said, that might be a little difficult.
No, the anti-tariff. Neil said, well, going forward.
And what about throwing the entire foreign policy of the United States posture into complete chaos? Is the court going to own that too? Victoria, Pam Bondi revealing that during the Arctic frost investigation, the DOJ found that Special Inquisitor Jack Smith seized President Trump's government-issued phone. She said Jack Smith also subpoenaed all of President Trump's personal records, his phone records, all unprecedented moves. We're getting an avalanche of evidence, but no indictments. Am I too impatient, or is something wrong at DOJ?
Well, I'm pretty impatient too regarding these things. I mean, join the club. I think John Solomon wrote a story about this, and John's a dear old friend. Wrote a story about this back in April, a few months ago. So I'm not sure what the big deal is, but I'm very glad it's getting press again. And you know what?
Okay.
Welcome to the club. All of those of us who have been investigated.
Well, Joe, I got 60 seconds. In court today, a federal judge ordered prosecutors in the criminal case of former FBI Director James Comey to produce a trove of materials from the investigation. Comes just days after the FBI basically turned over handwritten notes by Comey, which shows he knew about the leaks and the Obamagate Russia collusion hoax conspiracy plot. Is this as damning as it appears to be against Comey?
Well, there's no question that the Comey information, the emails, the handwritten notes, which were all in the burn bags in a secret skiff that nobody knew about. And these were discovered by Kash Patel and turned over to Capitol Hill, as well as the prosecutors. This is very damning, because it shows that when he said to Congress that he didn't know anything about this stuff, there are emails that showed that he did know about it, and that he was, and it also shows his bias toward Hillary Clinton, because he said he was expecting to have a job working for her when she was elected.
You know, folks, I thank God for my wonderful wife, my kids, my country, the greatest nation ever. And Americans like you who believe in the truth, the Chris Salcedo Show will never stop fighting for you.
The Chris Salcedo Show, for the news you need to know.